It took me a while to sort of get my bearing in terms of how to be in the classroom and how to teach. You know, I don't necessarily think that every great designer makes a great teacher, and it took me a while to learn how to teach. It's been 15 years of me teaching at ArtCenter. Now, I feel comfortable. One of the things I really, really love about being in a classroom is seeing these young students and what influences them. Music influenced me. That's what got me to ArtCenter. There's something that influences these other kids that brought them there. And I want to see what those influences are, and I want to bring those influences out in them, and I want them to have the space to use that to find their creative talent. It's about you finding your own voice. I have my own voice. People, when they see my work, they know it's mine. One of the things about Black culture that we've given to American society is our gift for music. I grew up in a neighborhood where down the street, you know, we had musicians. So I would hear live bands down the street from our house. So we'd walk to school and we'd hear all this music happening. Groups like Sly and the Family Stone, Larry Graham, the Pointer Sisters, and the Blaxploitation films that we saw at the time. We were seeing people like Ron O'Neal and Superfly. Those were our heroes. Growing up, I saw images on television of the Vietnam War. I grew up in the home of the Black Panther Party. No matter what was going on in our neighborhood, whether it's, you know, riots or political unrest, inside our house, we had music playing all the time. And no matter what, it always took away the fear and anxiety of going out of the house when we would leave to go to school. And the influence of the Black Panther Party on me as a young kid, that's always been inside me. And once I got to a point where I was comfortable enough with the tools that I have as a designer, I knew that I wanted to do something to pay homage to that movement. I was at ArtCenter in the mid-90s, which there was a revolution in the way typography was being used. It wasn't so much about the formality of design, it was about really expressing yourself. I'll never forget this. Our first day at orientation, when they played the Losing My Religion video by Tarsem, I saw the look and feel of that video and I said, I'm in the right place. What ArtCenter did for me is ArtCenter took raw, intuitive design sensibility and put formality on top of it. And that's one of the things that I talk to my students about all the time. It's like, you know, the formality of design can do two things. It can box you in if you let it, but it can also free you if you have that instinct to go with it, which is what it did for me. When I'm in the classroom with my students, I don't feel like it's me on one side of the table and them on the other side of the table. I treat them as if we're in a studio together and we're learning from each other. And I learn as much from my students as they learn from me. Taking that intuition, the thing that inspired them, and putting formality on top of it, and sending them out there to do whatever it is that they need to do. I try to expose my students to things that they haven't been exposed to, but they also expose me to things I haven't been exposed to, so it's a collaborative thing, right? That influence of younger students influenced my research for the work that I did on Pendry. You know, when I put those things together, I came up with an idea that would inspire millennials and Gen X and Gen Y people to come to their hotel, which in San Diego is just open, but it's a destination already. I met Mark Hudson, who is the producer of Ringo Starr. Mark contacted me like a couple of days later, and he goes, I'm working on something for an artist that I think you might, you know, be interested in doing. Can you just do a sample? So I did a mock-up for him. I sent it to him. He sent it to Ringo in London. Ringo sent him an email back saying, I want to meet this guy like right now. We did 2 projects together. He was really, really gracious. It was the most amazing experience of my design career. To this day, how many people can say their name's associated with a Beatle? That's definitely a feather in my cap as far as my career is concerned. Style is what I bring to the work that I do, but it's not the only thing I bring to the work that I do. It really is about influence, and we all want people to see us as somebody who can influence somebody else in our lives. And to me, I think when I talk about the experience of designing in a professional atmosphere as opposed to being in a classroom, I think it's really important for students to have faculty who they feel like are influential and do the kind of work that they in themselves want to end up doing.